Hye kyo versus Sonya Jin versus YoonA, the ultimate battle of Korea's top goddesses at Blue Dragon. Imagine a cinematic universe where artificial intelligence doesn't just steal jobs, it devours souls, forcing us to confront the fragile humanity we've long taken for granted, and one film dares to laugh in its metallic face while sharpening its satirical knife. On this crisp autumn day of October 21st, 2025, the 46th Blue Dragon Film Awards unveiled its nominations, igniting a firestorm of anticipation across South Korea's vibrant film landscape. A ceremony that feels less like a mere accolade handout and more like a pulse check on the soul of an industry that's evolved from post-war grit to global phenomenon. Established in 1963 by Sports Chosun to champion the nascent Korean film scene, the Blue Dragon has grown into one of Asia's most revered honors, often likened to the Oscars for its blend of critical acclaim and popular fervor, having spotlighted legends from Shin Sang-ok's golden-era epics to Bong Joon-ho's Palme d'Or triumphs. This year's roster spans 15 competitive categories, a testament to the breadth of storytelling that's flourished amid the Hallyu wave. From heart-pounding thrillers to whimsical horrors, each nomination evoking that electric thrill of discovery. Like stumbling upon a hidden hanok in Seoul's bustling alleys, whispering secrets of resilience and reinvention. Leading the pack with an astonishing 12 nominations is Park Chan-wook's No Other Choice, a satirical black comedy thriller that skewers the gig economy's underbelly with the precision of a master surgeon, or in this case, a rogue robot arm gone haywire. Set in a near future where AI supplants human labor, rendering workers obsolete and existentially adrift, the film follows a down-on-his-luck everyman, portrayed with razor-sharp vulnerability by Lee Byung-hun, who stumbles into a corporate conspiracy that blurs the line between man and machine, all while his resilient partner, brought to life by the luminous Sonya Jin, fights to reclaim their dignity in a world that values code over compassion. Park, the auteur behind visceral masterpieces like Old Boy and The Handmaiden, infuses this tale with his signature blend of operatic violence and philosophical bite, turning what could be a dystopian dirge into a darkly hilarious farce that lingers like a bad aftertaste from too much soju, unsettling, unforgettable, and oddly invigorating. I can't help but feel a pang of empathy for its characters, mirroring our own quiet fears of obsolescence in an AI-saturated age. It's as if Park has held up a funhouse mirror to Silicon Valley's promises, distorting them into something profoundly Korean, where communal bonds clash against individualistic ambition, leaving me both amused and anxiously reflective long after the credits roll. Hot on its heels with 10 nominations comes The Ugly, Yoon Sang-ho's mesmerizing pivot from zombie apocalypses to introspective noir, a mystery thriller adapted from his own 2018 graphic novel that unravels like a tightly coiled spring in the rain-slicked streets of Busan. Here, Park Jung-min delivers a tour de force as Dong-hwan, a grieving son who inherits his blind artisan father's seal engraving tools, only to uncover a web of family secrets tied to a decades-old disappearance. His performance a raw nerve exposed, flickering between stoic restraint and volcanic rage that tugs at the heartstrings with the subtlety of a haiku. Yoon, fresh off the gore-soaked highs of Train to Busan and Hellbound, strips away the supernatural spectacle for a humanistic probe into identity and inheritance, where facial scars, literal and metaphorical, become metaphors for the masks we wear in a society obsessed with perfection. Supporting turns from Hye kyo as the enigmatic father and Shin Hyun-bin as a spectral figure from the past add layers of poignant ambiguity, making the film feel like a late-night confession over black coffee, intimate, haunting, and laced with that bittersweet ache of unresolved longing. Watching it, I was struck by a profound sense of catharsis, as if Yeon's lens had peeled back my own veneers of composure, reminding me how ugliness, in its truest form, often harbors the most exquisite beauty. A notion that resonates deeply in Korea's high-pressure cultural milieu, where appearance reigns supreme, yet vulnerability whispers the loudest truths. Securing 8 nominations is Harbin, Woo Min-ho's sweeping biographical epic that transports us to the frozen fringes of 1909 Manchuria, where Hyun-bin embodies the indomitable spirit of An Jung-gun, the independence activist whose audacious assassination of Japanese colonial figure Ito Hirobumi ignited a flame of resistance still flickering in modern Korean consciousness. This isn't mere historical reenactment. It's a visceral odyssey of brotherhood and betrayal, with Bin's An portrayed as a tactical genius whose quiet charisma masks a storm of righteous fury, his eyes conveying volumes in scenes of clandestine plotting amid snow-swept borders, evoking the same magnetic intensity that made Crash Landing on You a global obsession, but channeled into a fiercer, more grounded patriotism. Woo, known for the taut procedural The Man Standing Next, crafts a narrative that balances grand-scale battles with intimate moral dilemmas, drawing parallels to the ongoing dialogues around Korean reunification and identity in a divided peninsula, where An's legacy isn't just folklore, but a living call to arms against erasure. The film's meticulous production, filmed in the biting cold of Harbin itself, lends an authenticity that chills to the bone, and I found myself gripped by a swell of national pride mingled with sorrow, pondering how such tales of defiance continue to fuel the creative fires of today's filmmakers, turning personal anguish into collective inspiration that bridges generations like the Han River at dawn. With 6 nominations apiece, My Daughter is a Zombie and High Five inject doses of genre-bending levity into this heavyweight lineup, each offering a refreshing counterpoint to the brooding intensities elsewhere. Pil Gamsung's My Daughter is a Zombie reimagines the undead trope through the tender lens of paternal love, starring Jo Jung-suk as a harried father navigating a zombie outbreak in Seoul while shielding his infected little girl, whose pint-sized ferocity becomes both comic relief and heartbreaking emblem of innocence lost, blending slapstick chases through abandoned subways with poignant family melodrama. Think Zombieland meets Little Miss Sunshine with a K-drama twist. The film posits that true monstrosity lies not in rotting flesh, but in societal neglect, a theme amplified by Lee Jung-eun's steely matriarch, who wields a cleaver with maternal ferocity. It's a rollicking ride that left me chuckling through tears, evoking that warm fuzziness of a family barbecue gone gloriously awry, yet underscoring the quiet heroism of everyday parents in a world teetering on chaos. In an era of endless apocalypse flicks, this one's quirky heart feels like a balm, reminding us that love, even zombified, endures, with a bite that's equal parts fierce and forgiving. Meanwhile, Kang Kyung-chol's High Five bursts onto the scene as a fantasy action comedy where organ transplant recipients, played by an ensemble including Lee Jae-in and An Jae-hong, awaken with superhuman abilities after a donor's ashes mysteriously trigger a chain of supernatural high fives, turning ordinary folks into accidental heroes in a whirlwind of heists and heartfelt romances. Infused with the director's penchant for feel-good absurdities seen in Sunny, the film romps through neon-lit Seoul nights, where powers like telekinesis manifest during awkward karaoke sessions, blending Marvel-esque flair with the unpretentious charm of a neighborhood noraebang. Park Jin-young's breakout as a wide-eyed newbie adds a fresh-faced energy that's downright infectious, and I couldn't suppress a grin at how it celebrates the absurdity of second chances, stirring a nostalgic joy akin to rediscovering childhood comics, playful, empowering, and a sly nod to Korea's booming transplant medical advancements, where science fiction flirts with stark reality in ways that make the impossible feel tantalizingly close. Among the best film contenders, No Other Choice stands tall, not just for its technical prowess, but for daring to interrogate the ethical quagmires of progress. Its 12 nods spanning screenplay, music, and editing, like a symphony conductor wielding batons of brilliance. The Ugly follows suit, Its 10 nominations a nod to Young's evolution as a storyteller who peels back societal scabs with surgical empathy. While My Daughter is a Zombie and High Five each claims 6, injecting levity that balances the slate's gravitas. And The Old Woman with the Knife rounds out the quintet with its gritty tale of an aging hitwoman, portrayed by the formidable Lee Hye-young, mentoring a cocky protege amid a revenge-fueled rampage based on Gu Byung-mo's novel, her knife-sharp wit cutting through ageist tropes like butter. Directed by Min Kyu-dong with the pulse of a noir heartbeat, it explores obsolescence in the assassin trade, mirroring broader conversations on women's agency in a patriarchal industry. And watching Lee command the screen at 60-something fills me with a defiant exhilaration, like cheering for the underdog who's always been the alpha. Her performance a rallying cry that age is merely a plot twist, not the finale. Harbin, with its 8 nominations, anchors the category in historical heft, a sweeping canvas where personal valor eclipses imperial shadows, collectively painting a portrait of Korean cinema's multifaceted soul, thrilling, thought-provoking, and tenderly human. The Best Actor race promises fireworks, headlined by Lee Byung-hun's tour de force in No Other Choice, where he embodies the everyman's unraveling with a coiled intensity that recalls his G.I. Joe menace, but laced with existential pathos. His nomination feeling like a long overdue coronation for a chameleon who's headlined blockbusters from The Magnificent Seven remake to intimate indies. Hyun Bin counters as An Jung-gun in Harbin, channeling the activist's stoic fire with a physicality honed from military service and action epics like Confidential Assignment, his gaze alone conveying the weight of a nation's suppressed roar, evoking a profound respect that borders on reverence. It's as if Bin has stepped out of history's pages, breathing life into a hero whose sacrifice still echoes in Gwanghwamun Square protests. Jo Jung-suk brings disarming charm to the zombie dad in My Daughter is a Zombie, his comic timing a lifeline in the undead frenzy, reminding me of the buoyant energy he infused into Hospital Playlist, where laughter becomes the ultimate survival tool, warm and wonderfully absurd. Park Jung-min's raw ferocity in The Ugly cements his as the indie darling turned leading man, his transformation from comedic sidekick in Extreme Job to brooding antihero here, a revelation that stirs admiration for his fearless range, like witnessing a butterfly emerge from a cocoon of typecasting. Rounding out the field, Sol Kyung-gu in A Normal Family delivers a chilling patriarch unraveling domestic bliss into thriller territory, his subtle menace a masterclass in restraint that leaves a lingering unease, akin to savoring a perfectly spiced bibimbap. Deceptively simple, devastatingly layered. Over in Best Actress, Son Ye-jin's nomination for No Other Choice radiates with the quiet strength she's mastered since April Snow. Her portrayal of a woman clawing back agency in a dehumanizing world, a beacon of grace under algorithmic pressure, filling me with that familiar swoon of her effortless poise, as if she's confiding secrets only the screen can hold. Hye Kyo, ever the enigma, haunts dark nuns as a nun battling demonic possession in this supernatural sequel to The Priests, her ethereal vulnerability clashing with infernal rage in a performance that's both spine-tingling and soul-stirring, drawing on her Descendants of the Sun intensity, but twisted into exorcism rituals that pulse with cultural folklore, leaving me breathless with awe at how she makes the divine and demonic dance in perfect, terrifying harmony. Lee Jae-in's breakout in High Five sparkles with wide-eyed wonder amid the superpowered chaos, her fresh-faced dynamism a delightful contrast to the category's veterans, evoking the bubbly spark of youth that makes you root for the rookie with unbridled enthusiasm. Lee Hae-young commands The Old Woman with the Knife with lethal elegance, her septuagenarian assassin defying gravity and gender norms in knife fights that are as choreographed as a Gatbawi dance, inspiring a fierce joy in seeing icons like her shatter ceilings with every swing, a reminder that power only ripens with time. YoonA, transitioning from Girls' Generation glamour to Pretty Crazy's pastry chef cursed with nocturnal demonics, brings a whimsical vulnerability to her rom-com turn alongside An Bo-hyun, Her laughter-laced terror, a sweet, sour delight that tugs at the heart, blending K-pop poise with cinematic whimsy in a way that feels like a serendipitous blind date, charming, chaotic, and utterly addictive. Delving into supporting realms, Best Supporting Actor shines with Hye kyo's ghostly gravitas in The Ugly. His blind artisan, a spectral anchor whose silence speaks volumes, evoking a melancholic hush that settles like fog over the narrative, much like his understated turns in The Wailing. Kim Sung-chol's wry mentor in The Old Woman with the Knife adds comic bite to the bloodshed, his timing a spark of levity that makes the violence sing, stirring fond memories of his Reply 1988 warmth repurposed for sharper edges. Park Jung-min doubles up from lead duties with a chameleon shift in Harbin, his co-conspirator role a subtle undercurrent of loyalty that amplifies the ensemble's tension, showcasing his versatility like a chameleon in a kaleidoscope, dazzling and disorienting. Joonho's steadfast ally in My Daughter is a Zombie grounds the zaniness with fraternal depth, his everyman reliability a comforting thread in the apocalypse, while Lee Sung-min's corporate foil in No Other Choice drips with oily charm, his betrayal a gut punch that resonates with the schadenfreude of watching a bully trip on his own hubris. These nods feel like hidden gems unearthed, each actor a pillar propping up worlds that might otherwise teeter, filling me with that appreciative glow of recognizing the quiet forces that make stars shine brighter. The Best Supporting Actress category brims with formidable women. Park Ji-hyun's enigmatic presence in Hidden Face, a psychological chiller where her veiled motives unravel like a poorly tied hanbok, adds a layer of seductive mystery that lingers like incense smoke. Her subtlety, a siren call to deeper dives. Shin Hyun-bin's spectral allure in The Ugly haunts with ethereal poise. Her performance a delicate balance of loss and longing that pierces the heart. Reminiscent of her beyond the memory fragility, but edged with thriller's bite. Yum Hae-ran's maternal steel in No Other Choice anchors the satire with unyielding warmth. Her quiet rebellions, a feminist undercurrent that empowers without preaching, evoking a nurturing pride that wraps around you like a well-worn hanbok. Lee Jong-un's fierce guardian in My Daughter is a Zombie wields maternal fury like a weapon. Her zombie sidekick dynamic, a hilarious yet heartfelt ode to unbreakable bonds, making me laugh and tear up in equal measure. Pure emotional alchemy. Jeon Yo-bin's possessed novice in Dark Nuns channels raw terror with acrobatic grace. Her convulsions, a visceral spectacle that blends horror tropes with balletic precision, leaving an adrenaline-fueled shiver that celebrates her rise from melodramatic ingenue to genre force. Together, they form a chorus of complexity, each voice harmonizing the chaos of their worlds, and I feel a surge of sisterly solidarity, as if these women are rewriting the script of support from the margins to the marquee. Emerging talents vie in Best New Actor, where Park Jin-young, GOT7's Jin-young, makes a splash in High Five, as the wide-eyed transplant recipient grappling with sudden powers, his K-pop polish translating seamlessly to silver screen charisma, a transition that thrills with the promise of crossover stardom, like discovering a hidden track on a favorite album that steals the show. An Bo-hyun pairs rom-com charm with supernatural suaveness in Pretty Crazy. His crush on YoonA's demon-plagued neighbor, a brew of humor and heart that showcases his post-Flex X cop glow-up, evoking that butterflies in the stomach giddiness of first crushes, amplified by otherworldly antics. These debuts pulse with potential, stirring an optimistic buzz that new blood is revitalizing the veins of Korean cinema, where idols shed spotlights for spotlights anew. Directorial visions clash gloriously in Best Director, with Min Kyu-dong's assured hand in The Old Woman with the Knife, weaving action with introspection like a tapestry of tempered steel. His nomination a nod to a career bridging counterattack thrillers to this septuagenarian saga, inspiring confidence in his steady evolution. Park Chan-wook's virtuoso orchestration in No Other Choice layers satire with symphony. His 12-nod dominance, a crowning jewel that feels predestined, yet humbling in its audacity. Park's worlds always leave me intellectually exhilarated, as if I've attended a philosophical feast disguised as popcorn fodder. Young Sang-ho's introspective shift in the ugly marks a bold departure, his graphic novel roots blooming into cinematic poetry that contemplates the grotesque with gentle humanism, evoking a contemplative peace amid the plot's storms. Woo Min-ho's epic sweep in Harbin captures history's grandeur with documentary-like fidelity. His framing of On's Odyssey, a visual hymn to endurance that swells the chest with cinematic patriotism. Pilgam Song rounds it out with My Daughter is a Zombie's genre mashup mastery, blending horror laughs with heartfelt hugs in a directorial debut that charms effortlessly, filling me with that rare delight of a film that defies boxes while hugging you close. As the dust settles on these revelations, all eyes turn to November 19th, 2025, when the gala unfolds at Uido's KBS Hall, that iconic venue where spotlights have baptized countless triumphs since its 1970s heyday, now alive with the hum of 1,000-plus luminaries in Hanbok-inspired glamour and tailored tuxes, broadcast live to millions craving that vicarious thrill of victory. Voter ballots open today through November 18th, blending expert panels with fan fervor in a democratic dash that underscores the award's populist pulse, a far cry from its early days when critics alone decreed destiny. In this constellation of contenders, from AI satires to zombie paternities, historical epics to nun exorcisms, the 46th Blue Dragon doesn't just honor films. It mirrors a nation grappling with its past, present, and pixelated future. Each nomination, a spark that ignites dreams, stirs debates, and reminds us why stories, in all their messy magnificence, remain our most vital rebellion. As I pore over these names, a cocktail of excitement and nostalgia bubbles up. Excitement for the upsets yet to come. Nostalgia for the silver screen's enduring magic that binds us, frame by frame, in shared wonder. What a time to be a cinephile. The dragon soars anew, and we're all along for the exhilarating ride.